Discipline doesn't work, at least not long term. And in this video, I want to arm you with an arsenal of tools that you can use to deploy against your goals so you can accomplish whatever you want without having to use discipline at all. People always come up to me and they say, how can I be more disciplined? Or, Brandon, how did you become so disciplined? Because when they see the tremendous amount of success I've had over the years, or the staggering amount of wealth I've managed to accumulate, they naturally believe that it was a result of a tremendous amount of discipline. If they're not a hater. See, the haters will say some bullshit, blah, 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 and they'll just say whatever they can to mitigate the feelings of inadequacy they feel when they see a real nigga like me stunting on them, flexing on them. But the reasonable people who are serious about accomplishing their goals, they believe is a result of discipline. And I used to believe that too, until I found out there's another level. And I want to teach you how you can access that next level past discipline that makes discipline unnecessary and makes the accomplishment of your goals a lot easier. I discovered what I'm about to teach you when my father shot himself in the head. He killed himself when I was in my early 20s. And this left me in a position where I now had the responsibility of taking care of family. I had to help take care of my mom, my sister, her son, grandma, and myself, right? Because at this point, I don't have any safety net, it's all on me. And this couldn't have come at a worse time. It was around 2007, 2008, during the greatest financial crisis since the Great Depression. The entire world's economy was on the verge of collapse. Businesses were shutting down left and right. People were losing their homes, and we had record unemployment. I mean, it got so bad that, my dad killed himself, but suicide rates shot up dramatically during this time because there was so much economic hardship throughout the nation, if not the world. But I had this responsibility that I had to take care of now as the head of the household. So what did I do? Instead of crying like a bitch, I decided to be a G. I started waking up at 4 a.m. and I would train people early in the morning in the gym, shower at the gym, then go to my second job as a security guard at the Prada store in Soho. When I say I was a security guard, I won't get you the wrong impression. I didn't guard anything and I didn't keep anyone secure, but I was there. And I had to stand up in front of the store, pretending to stop people from stealing for 8 hours a day. After standing for 8 hours, I would go work for a moving company, which is one of the hardest, most back-breaking jobs that you can do. It's like a full body workout every day. And that was just Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I would still wake up early, train people. And then I would go work at a restaurant in Queens where I was the weekend manager. And this is 12, 14-hour days, 7 days a week. I did that for about 2 years in order to help dig my family out of the hole that we were in. And I deployed a similar work ethic for years to come, which resulted in a lot of financial success for me in other areas. Now, when people hear this story, man, you're so disciplined, you're such a hard worker, but looking back, it was more than that. It's always been more than that. But to understand it, we have to look at human psychology. And if we want to talk about human psychology, we got to start at the root. Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud was a coked up pervert, but he was also the father of modern psychology. And he had something called the pleasure principle. Freud asserted that the reason anyone does anything is they're either moving towards pleasure or away from pain. So we're always moving towards pleasure and away from pain. This is human nature. There's no way around it. Now, the problem with that is the things you need to do to accomplish your goals, you probably associate a lot of pain with them. If someone wants to lose weight, right? What do they have to do? They have to diet. These are things that people associate pain with. They have to diet. They have to work out. They have to go to bed early so they get enough sleep. In order to do that, you probably have to miss parties, things of that nature. However, people also associate pleasure with eating junk food, getting high, getting drunk, going to parties, and a number of other activities that will be detrimental to your weight loss goals. So here's the thing. If this is what we associate pleasure with, and this is what we associate pain with, we can see why it's so difficult for people to lose weight. Because it will take a tremendous amount of discipline on a consistent basis to do the things that are painful and to not do the things that are pleasurable. And even if you do happen to circumvent these urges, how long can you do it? This is why people go on yo-yo diets or they can't keep the weight off or it's not sustainable. Statistically, the average American is overweight, but this is why. It takes a tremendous amount of discipline to circumvent these urges. And you can apply this to any goal you're trying to accomplish. Getting better grades in school, doing better at your job or your business. The things that you associate pleasure with now, immediately, are probably bad for you long-term. And the things that you associate pain with are probably good for you long-term. Everyone tells you, you just gotta be more disciplined, you gotta have more discipline. But nobody tells you how. That's because discipline is a fucking flawed premise. Sure, you can become more disciplined and you need a certain amount, but it's foolish to believe that you're gonna be able to fight these urges all the time on a consistent basis indefinitely. And you can see it in the results that the average American is getting. We already talked about how fat the average motherfucker is. In the most prosperous country in the history of the world, the average American has less than $1,000 in their bank account. The average American is a fat loser, a bum. But it's not your fault, average American. This is the reason. It's the pain and pleasure principle. And everyone's trying to tell you that you just need more discipline. I'm gonna show you how you can eradicate the need for discipline altogether. And this process is around not being more disciplined, not fighting the pain and pleasure principle. We're going to use this fact of human nature to our advantage by changing what we associate pain and pleasure with. When you do that, discipline is not necessary. Step 1, this is called the list of hate. Now, this may be contrary to a lot of the success advice you've heard your whole life. Hey, if that shit would have worked for you, it would have worked for you. Now, before I tell you how the list of hate works, I want to show you why it works. So when I was a personal trainer in the gym, my best clients, the ones who went the hardest, the ones who stuck to their diet, the ones who trained with the most intensity in the gym, were the people who just got dumped, cheated on, or divorced. The people who had fairly good lives already, who weren't in any pain, they got mediocre result at best because it was more of something that they would just like to have. It wasn't a must. But when somebody got dumped or cheated on, it became a must for them. They had to get back in shape. One, because they needed to find a new person to have sex, but also because they wanted to kind of show their ex or get back at them. And it's only negative if you use it negatively. Hate is a tool, like a knife. Someone can use a knife to go stabbing people, or they can use a knife to prepare dinner at an orphanage for children. The knife is not good or bad, it's just all how you use it. It's a tool. Same goes for hate. It's a powerful tool that, if used correctly, can really push you to the next level. So when these people had this hate brewing inside of them, this beautiful fuel of hate boiling in their blood, what happened? They started changing their associations with pain and pleasure. They started associating pleasure with working out because now they were going to shit on their exes. And they started associating pain with being lazy because they knew if they got lazy, their ex would be doing better than them, right? So the association changed. And then I couldn't keep these motherfuckers out the gym. I would have to tell some of these motherfuckers to eat more because they weren't eating enough because they were so hell-bent on revenge. Now, that may sound negative, but again, it's just a tool. Like, if you use the tool for something positive, like improving your health, I don't see what's wrong with that. So you need a list of hate. So you're gonna take a piece of paper. If you're poor or old, right? If you got some disposable income, you're gonna get an iPad. I like the iPad mini. I use a notepad. And I want you to write out everyone who's ever done you wrong. You can do it in your phone too. Your phone is probably the best place to put this. Put it in your phone, in the Notes app. If you're using Android, use a Dork app. And you're gonna write down all the people who's ever done you wrong. Like, reach back in your past. People who dumped you, cheated on you, people who talk shit about you, all the haters. And I want you to look at that every day. That's how I start my day. One of the first things I do every day, I look at my list of hate. And I remember that if I don't work hard, if I don't succeed, haters win. Again, I know a lot of people think this is negative. However, I know in my life, this has saved a lot of people's lives because I can kill them with success as opposed to the alternatives, the people who cross me. I would argue that this strategy has saved lives. So I look at my list of hate every day and it fuels me. I'm more like a machine that runs off rage. And one of the reasons this is so powerful because people will always do more to avoid pain than they will to seek pleasure. This has been proven time and time again. One of the most notable studies on this was done by Nobel Prize winning economist Daniel Kahneman, where he did some nerd shit. I'm not gonna read you the study, I'm not one of those guys. And in Daniel Kahneman's studies, he proved over and over again that people will always do more to avoid pain than they will to seek pleasure. And this is why in politics or in media, they're always trying to scare you, right? They're always trying to scare you. They're not trying to tell you how good things are gonna be. They're always trying to scare you. They're blaming everything on the 1%, blaming everything on me.
You know, I like real news, not fake news. You're fake news.
And the Republicans are saying, oh, the immigrants are coming over the border and taking all our jobs. Meanwhile, I ain't never seen an immigrant doing a fucking job I wanted to do, right? They're just trying to scare people to vote for them, right? Because pain is more powerful than pleasure. That's why the list of hate is so awesome, because you know if you don't succeed, you know if you're not working hard, the haters win. And how painful would that be? I have nerds making videos about me trying to defame and trying to assassinate my character on a fairly consistent basis. That would upset me in the past, but because I had the list of hate, I'm like, yes, that's gonna be more fuel. It's like gasoline. That hate is like gasoline I can use to fuel my success and propel me forward. It's to the point where I kind of associate the hate with success. I feel like it's to the point where my brain kind of feels like if you're not getting hate, then you're not succeeding. It's kind of true. Think about it. Martin Luther King, he did some good things. He had a lot of success. What they do? They killed him. Abraham Lincoln accomplished so much. He's considered the greatest president in American history. Killed him. The more success, the more hate. I mean, even fictional character like Jesus, like he did some cool shit and they killed him. It's to the point where sometimes I'll deliberately do stuff to make people mad just so I have more haters. Kind of like the joke I just told a second ago. Somebody's about to write an angry comment about it. An angry comment about a homemade YouTube video. It's wild. But I need that fuel, man. I need that. It's a symbiotic relationship. I need the haters for fuel to fuel my ambitions. And haters need someone like me to hate on to mitigate the feelings of inadequacy they feel when they see a baller shot caller stunting on them. We're all working together. I digress. You're gonna make your list of hate and you look at it every day. And every time you feel like you don't wanna do something, every time you feel like, I should work out or I should not eat this, you can pull out the list of hate. Just look at it, because the haters want you to eat that cake. The haters want you to skip that workout, bro. They want you to skip every workout. You gonna let them win? I'm telling you, this is powerful. And once you start implementing the strategy, what's gonna happen is you'll start associating pleasure with doing the things that will shit on the haters. And you associate pain with doing the things that let haters win. So now we're not using discipline, bro. We're switching our associations. It's hard to get me to stop working. It takes discipline for me to stop working. It takes discipline for me to take a rest day. And the list of hate is a big part of that. The second strategy is the list of great. This is the more positive strategy. I want you to look at your goals and your aspirations. Now imagine the kind of person you would have to be in order to accomplish those goals. Imagine that person. Does he work out every day? Does he skip workout? Does he track his macros and his calories? Or does he just put anything in his mouth like a whore? How does he behave? Write out these lists of behaviors and attributes that the person who already accomplished your goals already has. And look at that every day too. Your list of hate and your list of great. And what's gonna happen over time is that anytime you're not acting congruent with the person who you actually need to be to accomplish your goals, you'll start feeling pain when you're not moving in that direction. And you'll start to associate pleasure with doing the things that move you into this version of yourself that you know you need to be to accomplish your goals. And then once you have both of these together, now the pain and pleasure principle is working for you. And it's not discipline though. You'll start to want to work out. You'll start to want to work on your business. You'll start to want to study more. Now the problem you'll have is that people call you obsessive or compulsive. That's how you know. That's how you know that you're on the right path. When people start saying you're crazy or you work too hard or you need to chill or you need to enjoy life more, that's how you know you're on the right path. Because what they won't understand is you've changed everything. Now you enjoy doing the things that move you on the path to your goal. You'll really know what's working when a vacation or a day off or a rest day starts to feel painful. That's what the real ballers are doing. The real ballers do not really enjoy vacations that much. And I don't mean they don't enjoy it when they're on it. I mean, they don't even enjoy the idea of it because they've changed the association. When I go on vacation, it's kind of something that's obligatory because, you know, girls like to travel and shit, you know. The only way I can even justify taking a vacation is if I can make enough content to stun on the haters. But the truth is I'd rather be at my desk working on the business because I switched my associations with pain and pleasure. I don't need discipline to work hard. I need discipline not to work hard. And the only ways I know to acquire that is with the pain and pleasure principle. That's why I told you the story in the beginning, because once my father shot himself in the head, I associated pleasure with taking care of my family, with being the man that held the mantle of provider for my family, my loved ones, and people I cared about. So it wasn't discipline I used to work all those hours, all those years at 4 different jobs. relationships. I associated pleasure with being able to take care of my mom and help her through that difficult time. And I couldn't see myself partying or doing some bullshit when I knew my mom needed my help, right? The associations changed. It wasn't discipline. So to sum all this up, it doesn't take discipline for me to do the things necessary to accomplish my goals, because this is stuff I want to do. You don't need discipline to do the things you want to do. You need discipline to do the things you don't want to do. But when you change your associations of pain and pleasure, then you'll want to do the things that help you accomplish your goals. In fact, it would take discipline for you not to do it if you do this right. So listen, I want to give you even more information on how you can implement these strategies against your goals and start shitting on the haters, stunting on the hoes, balling and or shot calling. With a video I made about my morning routine, I think there's gonna be a lot of value that you can take from that to implement in your own life. My video team is gonna put that somewhere. I have no idea what's happening right now. I might be moving around the screen. I think there's shit popping up on the screen. Click some of that shit. Watch that video now.
I'm from the last stop on the A train where Stack Bundles from, you heard?
Okay.
All right? It's my man, it's my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's Harlem, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm talking about?
Saying?
You feel me?
Get money out here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. Pimping. Put it in my pocket. P-I-M-P, you heard?